guys, Laura here from Hedgehog's Homestead. Today we're taking some old garlic out of the fridge that we didn't grow. We're going to take the other garlic that we grew out too and do something with that. But we want to preserve the old stuff. I don't want to grow this stuff. You can take stuff that you've gotten from the store and grow it. You would take the largest cloves and put them in the ground. But we are going to roast these, and so we can have some roasted garlic in the fridge. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So that's our first way of preserving. And then of course I dropped some, so I got to deal with the dogs a minute. But back to it. So this process of roasting this garlic takes about an hour at 400 degrees in the oven. You kind of keep an eye on it, and what you're looking for it to turn kind of brown. And when the garlic is roasted perfectly, it can be spreaded, like it, like if you push on it, you could spread it on some toast or something like that, and that's when you know it's done. But you're looking for that brown color, and you're going to soak it in olive oil, and that's what you're going to roast it in as well. And then you can put that in a jar with the oil that you roasted it in and put it in the fridge. And that is one of the good ways that you can save your garlic. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that this garlic has been in the fridge for about 3 months, so it has little green stems through it. It should be fine for roasted garlic, but once you spread that part may not spread, but the rest of it should spread very well. Now, when you put it in a jar, I put it in a smaller mason jar, about 8-ounce mason jar. You'll have some of the oil left over. You're gonna scoop that out, put it in the mason jar, and then you're going to pour the oil over that. And then you're, of course, not going to use all that oil, so you get a benefit. Don't throw that oil away, because now you have infused oil, infused garlic oil. So one of the things you'll notice as I'm doing here, I take off the whole outer paper. You're going to make sure you take off, and I always cut off the end where it's hard. If you do that first, if you cut off the little end where the roots come out of on the bottom of the garlic, it will make it easier for the paper to actually come off. And so that's one of the methods I've always used. I had this tool out that's in front of me, the little hammer kind of tool, or meat tenderizer is what it actually is. And I was going to you can knock the clove apart, but these cloves were too tight and hard, and so it just flew across the table there and made a huge mess, and the dogs went after my garlic. So that wasn't a good thing to have done. My whole pantry smells like garlic because we had a huge garlic haul this year, and maybe I can show you guys a picture of that. Okay guys, I was hoping to get this put on like a screen, but hopefully it will do okay on these tables. So this is the first row. Beautiful, beautiful garlic heads here, and so hopefully these can all dry off really good. We had some small ones, but that's okay. Some of them are too close to each other. My small ones are just as good as the kind I used to grow. So, and then this is our other table layered off here and looking fantastic. So there you go, garlic season 2024. So, and here I am making sure that I don't waste the old garlic. So you can see I'm trying to use that thing, but a little lighter way. Anyway, so that's what my garlic harvest looked like this year. Really successful year. I was really happy with it, but I didn't want to waste the old garlic in the fridge. You can see that one of them here has a little green thing coming out of it. When I opened it up, a lot of them did. So it turned out well though anyway. So I'm getting them all separated and we'll get them in the oil and in the oven in a minute. Okay, here you go, sitting in some olive oil, ready to go in the oven. This is after it came out. This is the extra oil I had that came out of it. And then I have roasted garlic and infused garlic oil beside it. The next day, I started working on the stuff I grew. And it was much easier to peel fresh garlic. And that I'm just putting in a blender after it was all peeled. Okay, so we're going to grind these up and make a minced garlic. It really doesn't take very long. You can do this in a blender like this, or you can do it in a food processor. This is a really powerful blender. Took really no time at all in this. Okay, now we're going to push it down and probably give it one more last blend before we put it in some mason jars. Okay, and there you go. It is done. And that's it. Now we're going to put it in some mason jars. I thought I only had enough for 2. But this actually did 3, so a small bowl did 3 8-ounce mason jars. You want to pack it in kind of tight. And you're going to put olive oil in it to preserve it. And so you want to leave about that inch of headspace for that, so that you have the olive oil over top of the minced garlic. It really doesn't take a lot of olive oil when you are packing it in nice and tight too. You do want it to go all the way down to the bottom, the olive oil, but there's so much space used up by the minced garlic. It's really not as much olive oil as I actually thought it would be. So I did 3 jars of this and it turned out pretty good. We always buy jars of this at the store, or we did before we grew this garlic that we did this year. And so it was just something we always had in the fridge, and we used a lot of garlic, and that's why we wanted to grow our own garlic, not to be dependent on the store for that. And, you know, the jars go for between $5 and $10. It depends on where you go and what you buy. And it's not organic, and it's not good oil, and you know how the story goes. I can control my product a lot better than what I can get out of the store. Now, if it was put in organic olive oil, it would have cost a lot more than that. It probably would have been more like $30 because you would have been paying for the olive oil and the minced garlic. Making sure I get every little bitty piece in there. I did clean my countertops before this. There's the olive oil I'm using. This is not organic, I don't think, but I usually buy organic. It's harder here in Tennessee to find organic products. It's just something I noticed. Because the new bottle that we have to replace this is organic. And with the cost of things going so high these days, it's just hard. At least I'm still controlling the product. If I would have bought this in the store, it probably would not be put in olive oil at all. It would have been put in, if it did say olive oil, it wouldn't be 100% olive oil or extra virgin olive oil, you know, that kind of thing. It's just olive oil mixed with probably vegetable oil. So I'm debubbling this now and just making sure that that oil can get down to the bottom, because that's what protects it and preserves it so that you can keep it in your refrigerator for that long. And there we go. Looking good. I'm making sure that it's not up on the sides, that everything's covered in olive oil. And then I'm just going to grab some lids and put them on and put it in my fridge. And that is it. God bless you guys, and thank you for coming. We'll see you next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.